What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is 5 reasons why 95% of Pokemon investors are going to fail. I know this video sounds really bad, and I really don't mean to make this sound bad. Well, I guess not really, but I just want to be brutally honest with people because I feel like a lot of investors really, or Poke investors really kind of hype this scenario up. And there's a lot of things that have to take place for you to actually become a successful Pokemon investor. Either that's sealed, vintage, whatever you're investing in a Pokemon, whatever it is, there's some things that you have to do, and 95% of y'all, I feel like, is honestly not going to do it. So I'm going to list them all right here. I have 5 of them plus one bonus one, and the bonus one I feel like is the most important. So make sure y'all stay to the end to watch that. And if you don't have that one, I don't think you're going to last that long in Pokemon investing in general. But all right, let's get down to it. The first big one, honestly, is you're going to be tempted to open it. A lot of people just want to open product. If it, like, let's say the product hasn't gone up over time or this, that, and the other, they're like, oh, we might as well just open it up. Might as well, there might be a big chase card, this, that, and the other. I mean, I understand people like enjoying opening their products and stuff like that. What I really would suggest people to do, honestly, this is what I personally do. As you can see, like, most of this stuff is over here is open, and there's like a lot more over here too. Like, all this around me is open. I have sealed product, like in cases and stuff like that, that I have that I'm not opening at all. The sealed cases are not being opened at all. That's what I would suggest people to do, is maybe get sealed cases and stuff like that. Even if you have like some expensive product, like I have some team up and stuff like that in here, like sleeve booster packs. I keep getting that messed up. But I have those that are sealed, like sleeved up. So if y'all want to get stuff to open up, just buy loose products. Just get that, open it up. So now you're not tempted to open up a whole sealed case. A sealed case, you don't want to open that up. The sealed case is where it's going to be worth more money down the line. And I feel like, especially with this thing where you're like scanning or whatever like that, the scanning, I feel like booster boxes are really going to be where the money's going to be at in the future. I'm going to make a whole nother video of that because I've been thinking about this for a while. But we're going to talk about that another. That's reason number 1. Do not open your products. A lot of people want to open their products. I know some smart people are not going to open their products, but a lot of people want to open products. That's what I'm saying. If you want to open products, buy products to open up, buy some loose packs, do that, whatever you want to do, but do not open your sealed stuff, like your sealed booster boxes, or should I say like sealed cases. The sealed cases are the main thing you want to keep them sealed. That's what you want to do. If you're investing in the Pokemon, you might as well buy sealed cases, honestly, in my opinion. Unless there's like some products that are kind of expensive, like for instance, like Sword and Shield booster boxes. Like, don't open those up. Like, let's say you want to open some Lost Origin. I got 2 Lost Origin booster boxes up here. I'm not gonna open those. I do have some loose packs of Lost Origin, but if I want to feel like I want to open up some Lost Origin and, you know, take the L, I'm gonna open those loose packs. I'm not gonna open the booster box. The booster boxes are not where y'all want to open them up. The seal cases are not where y'all want to open up. That's number 1. Number 2 is, if your product goes down, you're going to want to sell it. A lot of people are like, oh, I bought a dead product. I don't like this product. A lot of people might not like this product. This product's not going to be lasting a long time. This product's not going to go up. I was not smart buying this product. I should have bought a whole nother product. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of different things that I hear. But if you are bought a product, hold on to it. Just hold it. If you've had it for like a year, just hold on to it. If it goes down, you should be happy if it goes down. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm happy when the booster boxes that I buy, if I bought a sealed case of Twilight Masquerade and it went down to at 600, I bought it for 600. If it went down to 500, I'm going to buy it again. If your products go down, you should be happy if they go down, in my personal opinion. If you're a real, honest Pokemon investor, you are going to be happy if the products go down. Or at least in the short term, you're going to be happy if they go down. If it goes down over the next 4 to 5 years, that's a whole other story that, you know, that's just part of the game. But if your products go down within the first year or so you buying them, you should be happy. You should be wanting to buy them. Because if you are confident and you're wanting to invest in that product, you should be happy that they go down, because you want to buy more of that product to have more of it stocked up. Because since you invested into it in the first place, you should be happy that it went down so you can buy more of it. Why do you think, like for example, let's say you go to Walmart or something like that. I don't know, some food or something like that, some soda you like is buy one, get one. Are you going to buy more of it? Are you going to buy it because it's buy one, get one? Of course you are, you know what I mean, like that, for example. So when other investments go down, like Pokemon products, for example, this is all in the grand scheme of investing in general. If your stuff goes down, you should be happy it goes down, honestly, in the short term at least. Long term, that's a whole other story. If it goes down, then, you know, it's part of the game. But if it goes down short term, you should be happy wanting to buy more of it. That's number 2. And this is a really big one right here. Number 3 is a really big one that I feel like a lot of people do not talk about enough. Is that a lot of people put their money all just into Pokemon. So let's say you have, for example, let's say you have $1,000. Let's say you put $800 into Pokemon. Like, let's say that's your net worth. That's all your money you have is $800 or $1,000 to your name. First off, you shouldn't even be investing in a Pokemon if you only have $1,000 to your name, but that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. But we can save that for a whole nother video. But if you have $1,000 to your name and you put $800 in a Pokemon, let's say something happens with your car, where are you going to get the extra money from? Are you going to go credit? You shouldn't do credit because credit cards right now are like 20-something%. So what is the percentage that you're going to make off of the Pokemon cards you're holding? You're going to want to sell those. So if I was you, make sure that you have enough cash to weather a storm in your personal life. Let's say your car breaks down, you lose your job, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? They say you should have 6 months of expenses, 6 months to a year of expenses, especially all this recession talk, whatever like that. I don't know if we're going to go into a recession. That's a whole other story. I don't know. But at the same time, you have to be able to weather your storm in your personal life just in case something happens to you, because stuff always happens. In life, stuff happens. You're going to have, I literally, the other day, like 2 weeks ago, I literally had a car, my starter broke in my car. I had to spend $800. I was prepared for that, but if I didn't, I would have to sell some of my Pokemon cards just to be able to weather that storm and be able to pay for that inconvenience that pops up. So make sure y'all have extra cash around. Make sure you're not putting every single dollar you have into Pokemon cards. If you do, make sure you have at least a couple grand, I would say, stocked around. If you're wanting to buy Pokemon cards and you want to buy steel cases, this, that, and the other, Pokemon cards is expensive. Because if something happens in your personal life, this Pokemon cards are going to be the first thing you want to get rid of. And let's say that you're in a down market. Whenever you sell those cards, you're going to lose money. So it was better off just holding the cash in the first place. So make sure you have cash around. The other thing too, the other part to that I want to say too is if you have cash around, and let's say a lot of people don't. A lot of people do not have cash around when the time goes down. Like booster boxes go down. People are like, oh, like remember back in like end of last year, people were getting rid of their alt arts like crazy. People did not want alternate arts. They were going down like crazy. It was the lowest market they've been at. That would have been the time to buy. That's why you need cash around. Cash around for your personal life just in case stuff comes up. And also, just in case the market goes down, I feel like the market is going to go down, but I don't want to go all into that. But make sure you have cash around because that is going to be a time to buy. That is going to be a time to buy. Like, for instance, when I said with point number 2 is you have to make sure you are able to have cash around to be able to buy. When stuff goes down, when your products go down, it's going to be at a deep discount. You are really wanting to invest in those products. You might as well buy some more of them, especially if you have that cash around, if you have that couple grand laying around that you're just doing your personal life. I wouldn't say if Pokemon cards go down, put all that in there because you have to be able to weather some stuff that happens just in case. You always need some cash around just in case something happens because stuff always happens. Like stuff always happens. So make sure you have the cash around. That is a very big point that I want to get across right here. I really hope y'all do that part because a lot of people do not. And that's why people end up selling their stuff for 60, 70% on the dollar, whatever they paid for it. Whenever bad times, people need that money. So people are like, oh yeah, people are wanting to get into this to be quick flippers. This is not how this hobby works. It is not how it works. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Yes, of course it is possible. But if you are a real Pokemon investor, you are going to want to hold these cards for a long period of time or these boxes or whatever you have. So make sure you have cash around to weather a storm. I wanted to really get that point across. Thank you. All right, here's number 4. This is one that I really feel like people think they are going to be in here, is make sure you're in this for the long term. Like I said, 5 to 6 to 7 years, because that is where your really gains are going to be. Any investment, you have to hold it long term. That is where you really make your money at. That is over long periods of time. In any kind of investment, it works out. It honestly, most of the time, works out. Sometimes it works out better than others, but it ends up working out in the long term. So make sure you are wanting to hold this for a long period of time. Make sure you're not just like, oh, I want to be in this for like a year or two. It's not going to how it happens. That's not how investing works. If you look at 95% of all the massive big investors that have actually been successful, it's over a long period of time. You have to be able to hold your products for a long period of time. Even if you don't want to get into this hobby or you're going to get out of this hobby, just keep them somewhere that you're safe. Keep them somewhere safe. Just have them there. Don't worry about them. Just keep them where, I know a lot of people want to get in and out of the hobby. They typically say people stay in this hobby for about 1.5 to 2 years and get in and out of it. If you are wanting to do that, keep the products that you want to make sure you're investing into, just keep them somewhere safe. Let's say you move on to another hobby. I feel like that is really going to be a really good thing and a bad thing, honestly, because that means if you're going to get out of the hobby, you're just holding those products wherever like that, this, that, and the other. Like, for example, people that were back in 1999 that were into Pokemon when they were kids, they held all this Pokemon, this, that, and the other. You look at them now, I'm not saying this is going to be that happens, but it could potentially happen. People were having Charizards, the first edition Charizards. I've seen a couple people selling their cards. they bought those cards like back in the day when they were young. They didn't even think about them. They're in their mom's basement or their attic. Next thing you know, they're worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they had. Maybe not that much, but tens of thousands of dollars, couple of $1,000s, whatever they had, eventually more. And they bought them for a couple bucks when they were kids. Just make sure, if y'all are going to be out of this hobby, to store that card somewhere that's going to be safe. Don't get rid of them. I feel like that is a really bad thing, like I said, but that's up to y'all, personal opinion. That's what you want to do. I'm just suggesting, if you're going to get out of this hobby, put them somewhere safe. Just leave them be. Don't worry about it. All right, number 5. This is a big one that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about enough. Is you don't have the place to sell these products. Majority of these big Pokemon investors on YouTube that you see, they have a way to sell their cards. Like, for example, if y'all didn't see, I don't really watch Pokeball like that, but he literally just posted up on a video that he's selling $50,000 worth of his cards. He literally just did that. And guess where he put people to? His Shopify store. He has an audience to do that. So he has literally a marketplace for them. If you are going to go sell, if you don't have an audience to sell to, you're going to be taking fees like crazy. You're either going to be taking fees, or you're going to be taking a big loss on them, or somebody's going to want to pay 60 to 70%. And good luck even finding, I wouldn't say 60 to 70, yeah, probably like 70 to 80% on your product. So that's what I'm saying. So if you are in this for a long term, maybe that's worth it because your product went up so much. But make sure you have a place to sell your cards. Either OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups. In person is honestly the best way that I feel like. One, because you don't have to pay fees. And majority of people that want products like that, they're going to want to be like, okay, they'll buy them and you don't have to really worry about it too much, because that is where you can get a more reputable place and stuff like that. But if you do go on eBay, I would really suggest one thing. If you're going to go on eBay, they do charge a 13%, which ain't crazy, but if you do a little back end work, it's not too bad and it's kind of worth it. It's better than going to a vendor and somebody paying you like 60 to 70%. You rather have that 20% margin. It's going to take a little more back end work on you. But if you are planning to sell on eBay, I would really suggest one big thing is start selling now on eBay. Honestly, just start selling a couple cards here and there. You don't have to if you have like loose cards, I know you open up products. People that are in this hobby, they open up products. Sell what you have, sell what you get, do whatever you want. Build that reputation, because long term, that is what's really going to matter, is reputation on these groups. For example, like Facebook groups and stuff like that. Make sure you are starting to kind of sell cards here and there, just so you have that reputation and people know, oh, he's not going to scam me. He don't have resealed products, this, that, and the other. Your reputation is everything in this hobby. It really is. Either that, or you can try to grow out a fan base, or kind of somebody that you sell to and you pay less fees and you get more of the profit on it. Like, for example, not like eBay or stuff like that. Like, for example, how Pokeball's doing it. He made a Shopify store. He's doing it like that. He's selling them like that. So, that's the smart way to do it, because he's probably going to pay maybe 2 to 3% for like card transactions and stuff like that. That's all he's going to pay, and plus taxes. People don't forget about taxes, all right? That's going to destroy you too. But make sure you're selling on these places. If you're going to, wherever you're going to sell at, wherever your ending goal, you have to, everybody wants to buy these products to invest into. Everybody talks about that. But where? I don't hear nobody talking about where are you going to sell them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest Pokemon investor that I know is, what's his name? Like Rudy from Alpha Investments. You see how he sells his products. Having a big fan base like that makes sense. He literally has tens or at least thousands of people in a Discord group. Boxes that he's held on to, he can get rid of them like this. You know what I mean? Like, there is ways you can get rid of cards like that. That is why you see a lot of these Pokemon investors talking about this. And at the same time, you see all these Pokemon investors talking about, oh, invest into this, invest into that. But where do they sell their investments to? They sell them to their community. You know what I mean? So all these people are making money off of their videos. Plus, they're selling their cards to the investments to their community. So watch out when you're doing that. For the average Pokemon investor that does not have a community behind them, a YouTube or this, that, and the other, that is where people sell them to. So you have to, yourself, you have to know, where am I going to sell this at the end of the day? Where will I, when I want to sell these products, where am I going to sell this at? Of course, if you have like 100% gain on something like that, you're okay with like a 20% drop or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a big drop, but make sure you have, at the end of the day, make sure you have a good place to sell these cards, because this all goes together, honestly. I feel like if you don't have none of these points across, or you are not dotting any of these T's or I's, I just don't feel like this makes you a Pokemon investor. Me personally, I would love to hear y'all's opinion on this, honestly. Like, I hope y'all watch this whole video. I do have one more tip for you, and like I said, this is the biggest one that I feel like a lot of people do not talk about. So this is the bonus tip. The bonus tip is make sure you have other investments. For example, like the stock market, make sure y'all investing to that. Make sure y'all have diversification, because like I said earlier, if your Pokemon cards go down like crazy, you're gonna want to sell them, this, that, and the other. But let's say you had 50%. Let's go back to that $1,000 net worth thing that I was talking about earlier. Let's say you had $400 in the Pokemon and $400 into the stock market. Let's say your Pokemon cards go down 50%. Now you're at $100. No. Now you're at $200, and let's say the stock market went up 50%. I'm just saying, you mean like that. If it went up 50%, oh my goodness, that would be crazy. But for example, that money that you lost on the Pokemon cards, you're gaining on the stock market. So you're kind of still even, you know what I mean, like that. And then for example, you can sell those investments from your stock market and you can put them into the Pokemon cards. Make sure you're all diversified in these things. Like you see all the people on YouTube, I hate going to I don't mean to bash like these Pokemon investors YouTube, but a lot of these people on the back end, you don't know exactly what they have in their collection, what they have on paper inside of how much stocks they have, how many other investments they have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of these Pokemon investors, their YouTube just funnels their money into buying other investments and stuff like that. And the Pokemon side of it is just what they do to keep their YouTube up. I just want to put that out there. I know a lot of people do not say this. Don't mean to bash these people, but I'm just being honest here. So make sure you have other investments. That is just a very key point, because it is very good to be diversified. That is what I really been doing recently lately. That is why I've been going so heavy into Pokemon cards, because I'm heavy in the stock market right now. Like, I'm really heavy into the stock market. And the stock market for me personally right now is overpriced. It's came down a little bit, but it's still overpriced to me personally. So Pokemon cards just make sense to me. So I'm putting more of my money into the collectible market because I enjoy it and I can see and understand it, where long term there is a way to make money in this hobby. So that is what I'm doing personally. I would suggest you to do this too, honestly. Just make sure you're diversified, honestly. Make sure you're diversified. Do not have all your eggs in one basket. Don't matter if you think this set's going to go to the moon, this, that, and the other. There is a risk. Everybody loves to talk about the upside, but there could be a big downside too. And if you're not ready for the downside, you're not ready for it. So make sure you're diversified, because the stock market and collectibles are two totally different things. I can tell you that right now. They're two totally different things. So that is where you want to kind of be diversified in, just in case one of those go down. You can put the money, let's say you made, for example, go back to that thing I was saying earlier. If you made the money off of the Pokemon cards instead, you can sell your Pokemon cards and then put that into the stock market. That is what people do to be able to keep themselves safe and be able to keep themselves into these hobbies and stuff like that. Keep yourself diversified. You don't have to, if you go all in on one thing, you're kind of like, putting yourself out there to be kind of, get messed up and be slaughtered in this market. So this is all my tips for me personally. I would love to hear y'all comments on this and see what you think. I am not meaning to, this is just what I think, because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about these things enough, really. And a lot of people say, oh, invest this, invest that. But if you don't have these key points, I feel like you're going to fail as a Pokemon investor. But I would love to hear y'all opinions on this. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I have like a part 2 or 3 that I'm going to make of this, because I kind of have some other things of why I think 95% of Pokemon investors are going to succeed in life in general. Stay tuned for that. But see y'all in the next one. Peace. Let me know what y'all think about this. I would love to hear y'all's opinions. See y'all in the next one. Peace.